Welcome to Music Guru, where rock and metal never die and every classic note still matters. Steve Perry, yes, that voice of Journey, once had surprising things to say about Van Halen, and not all of them were flattering. In a candid interview with Parade.com, Perry opened up about a time when Journey and Van Halen crossed paths, and things got a little tense. He praised Van Halen's onstage power, but also called their music simple. Was that a backhanded compliment or a deep musical critique? Let's break it down. So according to Andrea Reihar's article for Parade, Steve Perry recalled a tour where Van Halen opened for Journey, and the young Van Halen blew the crowd away. Perry didn't hold back. He admitted that Van Halen crushed it live. He went so far as to say that they blew Journey off stage basically every night, but then he went a step further. While praising Van Halen's raw power, he critiqued their musical complexity. Specifically, he said that Van Halen's sound was rooted in what he called straight-ahead rock and roll, while Journey, by contrast, was built up on a rhythm section grounded in jazz and musical. In Perry's words, Van Halen's music was musically simple. Now, for a band known for Eddie's blazing guitar runs and David Lee Roth's wild persona, that might seem like a strange take, but Perry wasn't talking about guitar pyrotechnics. He was referring to the rhythm section. Remember, Journey's original drummer was Ainsley Dunbar, a veteran of Frank Zappa's band and an accomplished fusion player. But Perry and the band eventually swapped him out for Steve Smith, a drummer with a background in jazz and technical precision. The reason? To bring in more musical depth, especially in the grooves. This highlights a deeper split in rock history, the difference between flash and feel and theatrics and technique. Van Halen was pure energy, catchy riffs, big hooks, and showmanship. Journey, meanwhile, often chased musical refinement, especially during the Perry years. So for example, if you compare a song like Runnin' with the Devil to a song like Stone in Love, the rhythm sections particularly are very different, with Van Halen preferring a kind of straight ahead rock sound to Journey engaging in kind of complicated pop structures and a bit of jazz. So was Perry actually dissing Van Halen with these comments, or just pointing out a stylistic divide? Some would argue that both bands pushed boundaries and that both bands used jazz underpinnings, just in very different ways. So whether or not you agree with Perry's take, one thing is clear. Both bands created a signature sound, and both bands created a lot of hoopla around them due to their ability to appeal to a wide section of listeners. So my question to you is, do you think Perry is on point here saying that Van Halen was musically simple, or do you think that he's trying to find a way to explain why Van Halen blew Journey off the stage without admitting that they were just a better band? Personally, I think it's the latter. I think that Perry knows that Van Halen's the better band and the more influential band. They had better songs, they had better musicians, they had better everything, except for the fact that Journey lucked into a few very powerful ballads that took over the airwaves for a minute. I think that Journey was a cobbled together band, with Neil Schon kind of playing out of his comfort zone and Steve Perry rising to pop star status, whereas Van Halen was purely organic and that their sound grew out of who they really were as musicians. This is what I think, but what really matters is what you think. So if you have an idea about this or any other topic connected to classic or contemporary music, please drop it in the section below, and remember to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.
Music Guru here, asking you to help us on our march to 10,000 subscribers.